Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast update for the Corn Belt. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, the infrared satellite picture here first thing on Tuesday morning shows a developing storm system across the central and southern plains. This one's going to drop a little bit of snow into parts of Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma as we head through the day today. It's then going to swing off to the east, northeast, bringing a little bit of light accumulating snow to parts of Illinois and Indiana, the first of the season, before moving off to the northeast, becoming a fairly significant winter storm in parts of New England as we head into Thursday. The radar on Tuesday morning, again, very light scattered precipitation across the region as we start to saturate the lower levels of the atmosphere. So we've got snow falling aloft, but in some of these areas here, the air is so dry in the lower levels that it evaporates before it gets to the ground. We need several hours in some cases of that snow in the mid and low levels of the atmosphere to saturate the column so that those snowflakes can start making their way safely all the way down to the ground. So snow beginning slowly in parts of Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma as we head through the day today. Those temperatures are on the chilly side. We've got a shot of cool air, especially across the upper Midwest, single digits across parts of northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin. We've got teens surrounding that across the Dakotas down into parts of the mid-Mississippi Valley. And then the warmest you'll find across the Corn Belt is going to be some 20s, maybe close to freezing as we talk about parts of Kansas off into the mid-south. Now the surface picture on the left this morning, and then on the right we've got tomorrow morning. Here's the storm system organizing across the southern plains, across the Oklahoma and Texas Panhandle region, moving off to the east-northeast as we head through the overnight. As we wake up on Wednesday morning, area of low pressure should be right around the Ohio River, across parts of Illinois and the Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky border region. North of that, some light snow likely falling from eastern Illinois into parts of Indiana and Ohio. The hazards map from the National Weather Service on Tuesday morning with a winter weather advisory across portions of central Nebraska, western and southern Kansas. We've got parts of the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles under a winter weather advisory and a winter storm warning in western Oklahoma. You move off to the east, and then again you've got winter storm warnings and winter storm watches across New England. Total liquid precipitation over the next 7 days. Again, we've got this system swinging through, dropping a little bit of light snow across this region today. It'll then move off to the east-northeast, bringing a little bit of light snow to this region as we head through tonight into tomorrow. But then as we look out through the rest of the week into the weekend early next week, we continue to be very dry across much of the Corn Belt, from the Canadian Prairie through the High Plains, the Dakotas, on into the mid and lower Mississippi Valley. Again, we just don't have the trajectory that would be burying these regions. So the total snowfall forecast between now and 7 a.m. on Friday, we're talking about an inch or two across portions of Nebraska down into western and southwestern Kansas, maybe 2 to 5 inches of snow across southeastern Colorado into western Oklahoma. And then, of course, as we talk about the snow tonight into Wednesday, across portions of southeast Illinois, getting into Indiana and Ohio. That's what we're talking about, a dusting to maybe 1 to 3 inches in the higher spots across portions of north central Indiana into northwest Ohio. Now, as we look at the NAM forecast, this will help us kind of pick out the timing over the next 3 days or so. Again, watching that snow across Kansas, Nebraska, eastern Colorado, getting into western Oklahoma as we head through the day today. We'll head into the overnight. The system kind of reorganizes as we get into tomorrow morning. As we wake up on Wednesday morning, light snow across portions of central Illinois, central Indiana. The precipitation changeover line right along the Ohio River, so maybe some freezing rain or some sleet in there. And then as you head further south across Kentucky and Tennessee, we're likely talking about a cold rain, maybe mixing with some heavy wet snowflakes there as we get later into the day on Wednesday. This is now noon on Wednesday afternoon, and then sunset on Wednesday as we head into about 6 p.m. Snow pulling away from Illinois, maybe some light snow still falling across northern and central portions of Indiana. Steadier snow from Ohio on into Pennsylvania. Our winter storm now in full force as we head through Wednesday night into Thursday across New England. On the backside here, we'll just be a bit cold and cloudy across the Great Lakes from Minnesota down into Ohio and Indiana. We could have some patchy snow flurries, maybe a little bit of lake effect snow here, but really drying out or quieting down as we head into Thursday. Now, Thursday night into Friday, we could see a little bit of light snow along the northern plains here as the system tracks through the Canadian Prairie provinces. Again, some very light snow possible across the Dakotas into portions of Minnesota as we head through the day Friday into Friday night. Now, here's the upper level pattern. The jet stream winds at 500 millibars. Here is the wave right now that is rounding the base of that trough, bringing the snow to portions of Kansas down into Texas today. The reason for that, we get the storm system swinging around the base of that trough, but then we also have the upper level winds diverging. Upper level winds fanning out here as you look in this region right here. So what happens when these winds are not only speeding up, but they're fanning out in the upper levels, we have to replace the void that's left there. So we bring rising air from the lower levels up through the column there. So we get that vertical motion through the column of the atmosphere right through this region where those upper level winds are fanning out again. So that's where we end up with cloud cover and subsequently precipitation. So then we'll put this into motion. We'll take the arrows off of here so you can see what's going. That first trough swings into portions of the eastern Corn Belt by the time we get to tomorrow morning. That's the reason for the snow here, right in that left exit region or the left entrance region of that jet streak rotating around the base of the trough. We'll then swing it into Wednesday night and Thursday. This becomes a problem across New England, but now we are kind of quiet on the back side with a little lull in the precipitation. You can see this little trough that comes swinging through parts of the upper Midwest and the Canadian Prairie as we get into Friday. That's that chance for some very light snow across the region. By and large, though, it's going to be relatively quiet as far as precipitation goes across the midsection of the country until we get to potentially mid next week. We get another big wave that comes blasting across the northern plains here as we go into Sunday and Monday. And then what I want to point out here is we're being advertised the potential storm system across the midsection of the country right around December 24th and 25th with this wave right there. What I want to point out, though, is as I drag this back and forth, the trajectory, the storm track over the last several weeks has been from the North Pacific through the Pacific Northwest into the midsection of the country, and that's what's really protected us from more in the way of very cold air. As much of the coldest air this season has remained locked well off to the north. Now, this potential system here right around Christmas Eve, Christmas Day comes swinging in. Check out the trajectory here. Straight out of the Arctic. That has the potential to deliver some cold air as we get to the other side of Christmas Eve and Christmas Day in the Corn Belt. So it's way out there 10 days out, but something I'm watching here as we look at a generally mild next week, but the potential for a shift colder as we get to the last few days of December. Now here's a look at the precipitation forecast. Again, that chance for snow across Nebraska down into Oklahoma today. That shifts off into Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio as we get into tomorrow morning with that transition zone shifting over to a cold rain in Kentucky and Tennessee that tapers off by the time we get to Wednesday night. This is the forecast then as we head through Thursday. Quiet across the region, maybe some light snow in Ohio. We'll head into Friday, maybe some light snow across the northern plains near the U.S.-Canada border. Still quiet as we head into Saturday. This is when we could maybe get some light rain in Kentucky and Tennessee, Saturday night into Sunday. That looks very light in nature. And then again, it's quiet until we get to this potential storm system right around December 24th and 25th, somewhere in the midsection of the country. Right now, both the GFS, the European models, they both agree on the existence of a storm system in the midsection of the country right around Christmas Eve. But the nature of it, the intensity, and the location, big disagreements on that. And then remember, the potential, we could get some cold air coming in on the backside of that storm as well. Other than that, though, over the next 7 days, what do we got? A little light snow in parts of Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, and Ohio today. A little bit of light snow across portions of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio tonight into tomorrow. Otherwise, we got nothing to talk about as far as, focused precipitation across the Corn Belt. This is that chance as we get into kind of late in the weekend, early next week for, again, a corridor of maybe an inch or two across the region. But we just don't have the storm systems digging through the Rockies and then lifting across the Corn Belt, dropping those heavy, focused corridors of deep accumulating snow across the Dakotas. This just is not that kind of pattern at this point. So who's picking up an inch of snow or more between now and the end of the weekend? Again, system today, system tonight into tomorrow. Otherwise, we got nothing as far as we head through the next week or so. Now temperatures, again, we're going to generally warm up slowly as we head into next week with the potential for a shot of cold air on the backside of the Christmas holiday. Your highs for the next 5 days here as we finish up this video: teens, 20s, and 30s today, tomorrow, and then on into the weekend we'll start to warm up here. 40s and 50s start to creep their way northward on Friday. Here we go into Saturday, and then we'll probably see more in the way of 40s, maybe even some 50s as we head into next week.